In the age of social media, it shouldn't be that surprising that some academic journals are trying to find new avenues to reach new, more modern audiences and help get your work to new eyes. So some academic journals have begun introducing what they call video abstracts. When you first encounter them, you might be a little bit apprehensive because as academics, we don't work in video, we have no idea what this means. But it isn't as hard as it seems, and it could be quite fun. You could think of it as a very different, very new way to present your work to the public and to the rest of the academic community. So I have 5 easy steps for you to create your first video abstract. The first step is deciding what your message is. Now, if you've written this paper already, you have an abstract done, you have a title ready, you already know what you're doing. But for video, you need to make sure that the message you're sending can be understood by a larger number of people than the people who will be reading your paper. Because that's your goal. You want to entice people, you want to evoke some curiosity in them. When they're done viewing your video abstract, you want them to say, that seems interesting. I'm gonna read the paper. Even if they're not experts in this particular field that you and your collaborators have been working on, you want to make sure they understand the big picture. So your message has to do with why is this work important and what does it change? Not exactly what the work is, but what makes it important. Once you have that down, the second fun step, watching other people's video abstracts. There's lots of them available online and you should take an hour, click on a couple of them and take a notepad or maybe open Notepad on your computer and make notes about what things you liked, what things you didn't like, what you loved, and what you would really want to include in your own abstract. You'll notice very quickly that there are big differences. Sometimes the audio that you're listening to is very crackly and you have no idea what the person is saying. Sometimes it's just somebody standing in front of a white wall reading off the abstract of the paper. But sometimes it's fun. Sometimes you're seeing people play with this, draw sketches, use props. And this is what makes it exciting. This is what makes you wonder, maybe their paper is just as exciting as this work. So take an afternoon of enjoyment while you make this video abstract and you might notice that researchers whom you never would have guessed will be reaching your paper. The third step is the boring one. We have to have one. It's creating a script. A script isn't as formal as it sounds. It's just a list of things you want to see in the order in which you want to see them within your abstract. So you would start by saying, well, first I want to film this particular scene. I want to have this person saying this sentence and I would like to see this particular visual after that. Once you have that done, you've done the big work. Now you can do the fun stuff again. The fourth step is recording. If you're very new to recording, there are ways around this as well. If you contact your outreach department of your university or your research institution, they will often be very happy to help you. Because the more exposure your work gets, the more exposure the institution will get. In the worst case scenario, they will have a digital camera or a tripod to lend you and they will teach you how to use it. It's not that complicated. You film, you click, you go on. But if you're scared of that and you don't want to experiment too much, luckily, modern cell phones can record in a very high quality and you should have no trouble. But it's always nice to have somebody who is professionally working in the field help you out just a little bit. But once you have the equipment, you need to record. Now, you should keep this professional. However, you don't have to keep it boring. Some of my favorite video abstracts have featured people making jokes or a camera from above watching somebody draw a sketch of a graph that's included in the paper. And a paper in geometry that I read had a video abstract where they had a geometric model of the types of things that they were working with in the paper on paper, and they were throwing it around and showing it. So utilize this video medium. Imagine if you were having a lecture, but it wasn't for university students, it was for 15-year-olds, and they had short attention spans and they get bored very easily. What would you show them? How would you get them excited about your work? Once you're done filming, of course, the final step is putting it all together. It, again, does not have to be complicated, but it's always easier to talk to your colleagues. See if they like it. Of course, you can give it to one person and have them put these scenes from the script together and, as we call it, edit them. But it's somehow more fun and better when more eyes are looking at it at the same time. After all, these video abstracts are very short, 2 to 3 minutes, and you can't say all that much in them. The most important thing you can do with them is to make them fun and exciting, both for you and your collaborators, but also for the people watching them. Nowadays, you can see kids filming short, funny videos in which they share a lot of information very easily, and there's no reason why you can't do it either. So just remember, make sure to have a general, clear message set. Look at other video abstracts to see what you like and what you dislike. Create a script to stick with so that you have something to follow and it's an easy to-do list to go through once you record it. Keep it professional, but have some fun. And make sure everybody participates in the creation, because it shouldn't be scary. It's a really new, exciting way to share your work.